Hi, welcome to OMG Creations. This is the serial crafter Colleen, and we're going to do an 8-bit image to a cross stitch today. What you're going to need is an 8-bit image, scissors, graph paper, pencil, flosser, thread, embroidery needle, and cross stitch cloth. So I chose a Pokeball, and I counted it out, and it's 12 across, and then 12 vertically. And then I moved over to my graph paper, and I counted out 20 on the sides, and my image is a 12 by 12. So I did an inner square by counting in 4 from each side and the top and bottom, and I kind of just gently sketched out this inner square here, and that just helped me to keep my image centered in the whole scheme of the design. So I decided that B would symbolize black, X would be red, and a hash would be, or slash, sorry, would be white. And then I started drawing out my image and transferring it from just the plain picture on the left to my graph paper. And I just used it as a reference and so as you can see, this is the final design that I'm going to use to make my cross stitch. I decided that I wanted words underneath, and I chose "which will you choose," and I counted it out so I could center it, and the top line is 18 squares across and the bottom one is 24, and it just so happened that the Season H lined it up perfectly. So I took my cloth, and you want at least 4 squares for the frame. So I just took my needle and I put it above 4 squares into the center, and I knew that was going to be my H in choose, so that you could see exactly where the center of the whole design was going to be. While doing the cross stitch, I've noticed that sometimes I get large knots. And if you do that, all you have to do is be patient. You can normally take them out by hooking them over your needle and pulling on the little loops that appear. Sometimes if you pull too hard, the thread breaks. I have had that happen to me multiple times. But this H is just going to be the center for me. It's going to make doing the rest of the design really easy. And I really apologize. You are hearing my dogs running around in the background while I'm doing this whole thing. This is just a 2 times speed of me doing some of the stitches. You can see right there I had another knot, and I messed up multiple times because I was trying to do it really quickly because I kind of wanted to. I had an hour-and-a-half drive after this to get home. I was over at family's house, and they were very nice and helped me film so I could do it. So this is all the black put in, and the final design you'll see in a minute. So that's the original image. This is the pattern that we made, or I made, and always make sure to count out those numbers. And as you can see down below, I wanted to make sure I knew where my Pokeball was going to fit, so I put the 4 little things for the bottom row, and I made sure I knew what it was going to be above. And that's the final design you see, and I'm thinking about adding 2 more Pokeballs to it. I think it turned out really nicely, but these are all items that I have done patterns for, either off of a photo on Pinterest or just a Google search, or just an 8-bit image search. It's been a lot of fun. The skull that you see there is actually from a photo. Somebody had done a line drawing that I really liked, and I created it and crossed it. Welcome to OMG Creations, where stuff happens.